Welcome everyone. It's Dawn Duval coming to you live from Fort Myers, Florida. Let me get my comments turned on, and once you come on, if you don't mind announcing your name, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, you don't need to because it will automatically show your name. And we will get started in about probably 5 or 6 minutes. So if you come on, let me know that you're here. And I apologize, I have a piece of candy cane in my mouth because I've got a, I don't know, like a little sore throat or something. I'm not quite sure what it is, to be honest with you. But anyways, it's making my throat a little scratchy. So I'm trying to keep it lathered up. I just swallowed a little bit of honey, hoping that that would help. But welcome. We are ready to get started on another I was getting ready to say Wednesday, another Tuesday night Facebook Live. Once you come on, if you like what you see, would you? I'd appreciate it if you would share. I am streaming this to YouTube as well, and we're on Facebook. Hey, good evening from Texas. How are you? And so if you like what you're seeing and if you don't mind sharing this, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new here, let me know that you're new. If this is your first time, let's find out who you are and where you're from. Hi, Marcia. In the meantime, we will just kind of chill out here and wait for everybody else to come on. I came on a little bit early because I wanted to make sure I had everything working properly, because you never know. So how you doing? I got a candy cane in my mouth, and I apologize. My throat started like, I never get sick, but my throat on Friday, all of a sudden I got this burning sensation in the back of my throat. And then when I got home, my husband's going, you need to take a COVID test, because I'm thinking, oh my Lord, the new strain. I said, oh geez. Anyways, so my throat didn't hurt anymore. Well, it did that night. The next day, pardon me. And my girlfriend said, you know, take some honey, that helps. So I'm drinking tea. I'm taking honey straight with a knife straight out of the bottle. And then Saturday I woke up, my throat wasn't hurting anymore, but then it went to my nose, and now it's back into my throat again. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm chewing, or have a little bit of a candy cane in my mouth just to try to help keep it lubricated, I guess. I don't know. So, and I might have to start coughing. So I'll try to cover up my microphone so you don't have to listen to that. So anyways, what's happening? Hello there. Welcome everyone. We've got a few people that are popping on slowly but surely, and we've got a few minutes. I actually am trying to come on a little bit earlier like I used to do, and so that's what we're doing. We're just going to hang out until we get most of everybody, and then we'll get started. We're going to do 3 cards tonight, and that should be fun. Yeah, I did. I had some hot tea. I don't have any here because I'm in the our cousin's place, and this is like only thing in here is my studio. I mean, we have some dishes and stuff, but we don't have anything like that. But I've got a candy cane in my mouth. I'll take it out here in a few minutes. But I was saying I drank some tea with honey in it Friday, and I have a little, you know, those little jars that you get for free of honey. We got one somewhere, I don't know. So I've brought it with me with a little knife that I can get in it. So I've been taking honey and trying to swallow that, and that's been helping some. But all of a sudden, it never fails, you know, when you get ready to do something, you want to start coughing. Last night we went to our our Trivia Art Center to see, it's called the Mertz Trio. Oh my goodness. It was a piano guy, a lady playing, they're young, a young lady playing a violin, and the other one a cello. And let me tell you, as soon as they started, what do you think happened? My voice, or my throat decided, oh, I'm going to cough. So I'm coughing into my jacket that I brought so nobody hears me. And of course, we're sitting right on the front row. But thank goodness I had brought some Tic-Tacs. And so I threw some of those in my mouth to help keep some moisture in there so it wouldn't. But gosh, they were so good. They were playing some of these pieces that they rearranged. Oh my gosh, it was just absolutely wonderful. Hello, Karen Joe. How are you? So anyways, hopefully I'll get through this and not have to do a lot of hacking and coughing this evening. But anyways, welcome everyone that's coming on board. we'll get started. It's 7:01, so I'm going to give it another minute, and then we'll start on time. I'm going to be doing 3 cards from now going forward. I'm going to cover my microphone because I'm going to cough. Excuse me. And so I did a lot of the work ahead of time because we're doing a lot of coloring. So I tried to do all of that, and I left a few pieces. Not that y'all need to see me color because you know how to color, but anyways. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I was just telling everybody else that Friday, all of a sudden my throat started burning. And I don't get sick. It's very rare. And when I do get sick, knock on wood, I'll probably, jinx myself. I'm in bed. But it started burning. So my girlfriend said drink tea with hot tea with lemon honey. So I did that. And then it seemed like it got better on Saturday. And then it went to my nose. Well, of course, my husband is thinking it's one of the new strains of COVID. So I took a COVID test, which wasn't COVID. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Because he's like a worrywart. So then it went to my nose, and then, and he's like, like the mother hen. Are you taking this? Are you taking that? I'm like, oh, my God. I don't know how I got to be this old. 64 without you being in my life. I couldn't have done, you know how it is. Men think they got to take care of you, but whatever. So everything was fine, and then today I get up and my nose is starting to run, and now my throat's starting again. But whatever, it's all good. It's fine. So, all right, it's 7:03. We got people popping on. Twin Falls, Idaho is in the house. How's the weather there, Kathy? You can give us a weather update. It's not too bad here in Florida. It's a little chilly for us, but for me it is, but I think we're supposed to have a little bit more of a cold thing tomorrow. That's how it starts, I'm telling you. Anyways, let me take my candy cane out of my mouth so I can talk to you guys. All right. Anyways, I'm hoping that it goes away, so I'm trying to lay low, and and of course, my husband's got to baby me like I don't know how to take care of myself. I don't know I don't know how I managed before I met him. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. Welcome, everyone. If you are liking 42 in Texas. Ooh, Lord, child. It's not that cold here. I think we're in the 70s. But anyways, if you like what you're seeing, cold in the teens in Idaho Falls. Twin Falls. Woo, that's cold, Kathy. I'd have my long underwear on and slippers and all that stuff. Excuse me. All right, so let me go ahead and flip the camera down. Let's get started because we're going to make 3 cards tonight. And I just want to remind you about my tutorial bundle. When you spend $50 in my online store, then you will get a tutorial. Each month it varies based on how many demonstrators participate. So this particular month is 36 projects, and they're all out of the mini catalog. Most of them are. And it gives you some great inspiration for making cards and at least card ideas. And then, as I mentioned last week, I am now starting to do free card kits. So for the month of, well, it's every month, but this month, this is the host code. So when you spend $35 in my online store, then you'll get the card kits, and I'll send you 2 of each. So we're making 3 cards, so you'll get a total of 6 cards to make. Everything will be cut, punched, and scored. The only thing that I cannot do is I cannot provide stamped images, and that's Stampin' Up's requirement. All right, so if you go higher than that, then you just get more stuff. So $50, you'll get the card kits, you'll get my January tutorial, and you'll also then get a celebration item with a $50 value. And then if you place a $75 order, you'll get everything that I just mentioned, and you'll get to choose an $8 embellishment of your choice. If you're looking at close to anywhere from $75 to $100, my recommendation would be to take advantage of our Join special. And that, as I've gone over, and I'm sure you've heard it before, $99 with sales tax, you get to choose $175 worth of product. If you do $129, then you get the choice of a white or the new boho blue mini cut emboss machine plus $175 in product. So it's a great thing. So if you've got a list of items that you want to order, my recommendation would be to do that. you would then get a 20% discount, and you would be able to take advantage of that through the end of June. You don't have to teach classes. We do have minimums that are required, but if you don't meet them, the end of June, you just go back paying full price. That's the difference. Okay, so now that I've done my little spiel, we are going to work with one of the celebration sets, which is the Adorable Owls, and I'm sure you all have seen this. I just love this set, and we are doing 3 cards using this set, and it's one of the first ones when you open the celebration book. It's right here. Excuse me. So you'll see how they've done them like birthdays with numbers on them, and then of course the 2 little hootie owls that are flying around, and this one's on a swing. I thought that's really cute. I should have done that one. But anyways, and then I'm also going to show you a technique on the last card. And the reason I pretty much have done everything is because the first 2 are somewhat easy. The third one, we're going to do some heat embossing, and I'm going to show you a technique of how you can do reverse stamping on images. And you may be familiar with that, but if not, I'm going to show it to you. And just if you have seen it, then this will just be a refresher. All right, and so this stamp set has got 6 stamps, and they're the red rubber, or the cling. I love this type, so let's go ahead and get started. Excuse me. This is going to be the first card that we're going to make. So we've got our 3 owls stacked up on top of each other, and then in the inside it says it's your day. So again, it's going to be a very easy card. I went ahead and colored everything because I knew, and I had to fussy cut because there is no dies for these. So I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of time to get through all of these cards. All right, so that's the one that we're going to make. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my supplies, and I'll give you the measurements as we go. We're going to be using a base of, and let me get my Stampin' Trimmer, because you know I always fold, and I thought I guess I should do it the right way. 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And the paper trimmer, as you know, we have a cutting blade, which is the dark one, and then we have a scoring blade that's at the top, and our the base right here is every 1/4 inch, and it's also in metric. So, and the arm goes out to 17 inches. I think it's 17.5 or 17. So I'm going to line this up at 4 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and just give it a good score. Excuse me. And then we'll go ahead and fold our cardstock. And I always flip it to make sure that my ends are even. So we'll give it a good burnish. All right, and then the next thing, we're using the paper from what we used last week, the Valentine, the Country Floral. So we're using this paper, and as you can see on the back, this one has the hearts. But I love this one because it's got the hearts and I think that's mint macaron, balmy blue, and petal pink. So I thought that was really, really cute. And what we're going to do is we're going to place that on top of a piece of mint macaron. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, and then of course we're going to layer this on there. So this is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. All right. So we're going to go ahead and lay this on here, and then we're going to wrap some of the new ribbon around it, and then we'll put that aside, and then we'll get everything. Let me get my glue going here, and then we'll get everything going. Hang on. I guess I got to pull the dry stuff off. I thought I already did that. Excuse me. And I'm sorry if I start coughing, you guys. I apologize. All right, so hang on. My little glue guy doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Get some glue going. Okay. All right, so we're going to put this guy right on top of the mint, and we'll get that layered on there. All right, I tried to lower the camera, so hopefully y'all can see everything. Now, I'm going to take the new, this is the new Balmy Blue and White. It's a real fine, variegated, 1/2 inch ribbon. I think it's just really pretty. It's just got enough, just enough to give it a little bit of color. And actually, this blue, if you hold it up to like the mint, it kind of gives it a green, like a green tint to it. Let me get my ribbon scissors, because that's the one thing I forgot to grab. Hang on. All right, coming over here. Excuse me. So we'll wrap this around, and then just something in case you all don't know, but I'll share. This is what I was taught. So you don't waste your ribbon, depending on which direction that you want to go. Just measure the width or the length 4 times. So just, you can wrap it or whatever. So just, that's going to be 2. If I go 3 and then come back 4, then I can cut there, and that will give me enough to not waste, but give me enough to tie a bow. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add that now, because we're going to be adding our hootie owls, and we want to make sure we get them, get the ribbon on there first. Now, I was just going to tell y'all something. Now I forgot what it was. Let me think about that for a second. That's what happens, I guess. What was I going to tell you guys? Anyways, oh, whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and tie our bow. And I'm going to tie it over to the right. And one thing that I do is, I don't care if it's on the right or left, because I can always slide it around before I tack it down. So that way I'm not too concerned about getting it placed in the right spot. Because all you got to do is just slide it, and then you can move on with your next card, next step of the card making process. And I always seem to make this really cumbersome looking. And there we go. And then I'm just going to tighten it down. So I'm going to hold my knot, pull my tails, and this is a little loose, so I'm going to tighten it up on the back, because it is a little loose. I didn't get it as tight as I should. Let me, I'm going to pull it down a little bit smaller than what I want, because typically your bow gets bigger as you pull it. And let's see, does that, I think that still looks a little too big. Hang on, let's tighten that one more time. Excuse me. I love this ribbon though, because it's really easy to work with. I think that looks good. I think that's a good size. All right, so let me go ahead and trim this. These are my ribbon scissors, and I wish Stampin' Up! Still sold these, but they didn't. So I bought, thank goodness I bought 3 pairs. So I have 2 pair for, well, 2 pair for ribbon, and then the other pair I use it if I need to, but I kind of keep them as a safeguard. Excuse me. All right, so we've got that. Let me move my scissors out of the way. I'm going to take a sip of water. Bear with me. Hit the thumbs up to next live chat. Don't forget. Are you talking to me, Marcia? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up next to live chat. Oh, you must be talking to somebody else. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add this to our card base. And I've got the ribbon pretty much where I want it. I probably can slide it over just a little bit there. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, as I mentioned before, I went ahead and stamped and colored the owls, and I had to fussy cut them, only because doing 3 cards, I want to make sure that we have enough time to get through. I don't know why my glue is not coming out for some reason. I want to make sure we got enough time to get through all of our cards, because the last one I think is a really unique, fun card. So let's go ahead and place this down here on our card base. And again, this is the Balmy Blue. Oh, you like that? Oh my gosh, let me tell you that nail story. This is a Mary Kay. It was a limited edition. I have this. It's a real pretty green, and then they had a light pink. These are acrylic, just to let y'all know. I went to get my nails done 2 weeks ago, and they gave me to a new lady. Okay, fine, you know. Why do I have 2 of these? Oh, so she and I've been having my nails like this. I can't tell you how long, probably 40 years. But anyways, I could tell she wasn't putting the right polish on the right amount of stuff on the ends. Well, sure enough, the next day my fingernails started chipping. I broke this fingernail. It will look like hell. So I called yesterday and I said, look, I'm not a happy camper. All right, here are the owls. I went ahead and cut them out and colored them. And I used the soft suede light and dark. So the dark is the dark soft suede, and then this is the light. I'm sorry. Crumb cake, I apologize. And then the light crumb cake, I used Calypso Coral for his beak and Pool Party for his eyes, okay? So anyway, and we're gonna put these on dimensional, so while I'm still talking, and ignore that, but I used scraps of paper, so I'm using up scraps that I had that had writing on it. But anyways, so I called and I talked to the owner, and I was trying to be nice. I said, you know, I can normally go 3 weeks or so. And I said, and I told him, I said, I didn't want to say nothing because she knows her job, and I didn't want to act like I was a know-it-all. Well, so I went in today and I said, I don't want that person. So I got the owner's wife, which is the one that always does my nails. So I'm happy because she did a good job. She always does a nice job, but I was just I was so frustrated. I couldn't believe it. Oh, anyways. Okay, enough of that. But thank you for liking my nails. But if you, I should have taken a picture to show y'all how terrible they looked. All right, so put your dimensionals on the back. Push your thumbnail in the center, and that will help take lift the dimensional backing off, so you'll be able to get them off quicker and easier, and not sit there and fight with them. And I know if you use your pick, take your pick tool, it's got that little pokey thing on there. So you can use a little pokey thing. I don't know what the stylus, I guess, but I call it a pokey tool. All right, so whoops. All right, so let's get all these little guys out of the way. And then we're gonna stack these guys up on each other because they're having a party. So we're just gonna put, let's see, how do we wanna do this? This guy is flying. This guy's down here. So let's put this guy here. And let me make sure I can get them all. He's going to be here because this guy's got a hat on his head, so we want to make sure he's got room. Okay, we got plenty of room. All right, so I'm going to move this guy up. For some reason, I had a hard time with that one. Let's see, I'm going to put this one right here, and we'll have to move the bow over some. Let's kind of do a little twisty here so it's not blocking his face. All right, let's move this guy up. So we want to have it look like they're standing on top of each other. And one thing I learned too, and I'll show it to you when I cut out the one towards the end, but somebody had made mention that when you're cutting these out, to outline them with pool party so that when you cut, you don't have such a stark white hanging out. So I thought that was pretty clever. All right, so we're going to put him right there, and look at that. Just barely. Yep, got it, just barely. All right, so there's our birds hanging out and having a party. And now we're going to... I'm going to take the stamp that says, hoot, hoot, you're so cute. But I'm not going to do the you're so cute. I just want the hoot, hoot. I just love these little owls, and they're so cute. And it's free. So if you're going to spend $50, you might as well get a free set, right? Okay, so I am going to do, maybe I should have done brown instead of black. Well, we'll just do black. All right, so I'm using my black Stampin' Right marker. So for those of you that do not know this, you can color on your red rubber. You do not use your Stampin' Blends, because once you do that, they're going to stain it. But your Stampin' Right markers are water-based or whatever, so you can wash these off. So I don't want the this saying, you're so cute. I just want the hoot hoot thing. So I'm going to make sure I didn't get any ink right here. So give me just a second. I should have probably brought, there we go. So I'm going to huff on it, and then I'm going to stamp this on here, and then I'll cut it down into a flag. And this is probably too big, but that's all right. We'll just cut it down. So there, well, look at that. See why you should always wipe it off? But you know what? I'm going to cut, I should be able to cut around that. Let's see if it does. If it doesn't, oh, I got a gnat flying around. If it doesn't, we'll do it again. So I didn't clean that off very good. But look at that. We're just going to fix it. So we're just going to cut this down. And I'm going to cut this right about here, because we're going to make it into a flag. And the way I cut it is making it look like it's crooked. But you know what? It's okay. Because, you know, whoever gets this card is just going to be happy that you sent a card to them. So let's see if we can do this. Let's see if I can cut it a little bit straighter without messing it up. I don't think I'm going to do that. I got, pardon me, I had to cough. Oh, so what I was going to say is I finally met with the lady who does our Academy of Learning. And I met with her on Friday, and I have been approved to teach. I'm going to start a beginner's class on card making, and I'm going to do 2 sessions on April 5th. That's how far out they are, April 5th. And then if that works out, which I'm sure it will, then I'm going to start doing 2 beginners and 2 experienced classes. And of course, this is only for residents, but still, it's okay. She was telling me, are y'all familiar with Zentangle? Do y'all know what that is? Zentangle is, I don't have the patience for it, but if you like to do, you know, Zen and yoga and all that relaxing stuff, it's like doodling. It's like use dots, you know, you draw dots, dashes, circles, whatever you feel like making, and then you draw this stuff, and you make it into a pattern, basically, is what you're doing. Okay. So the first time they've offered this Zentangle class, they had people lined up at 7 o'clock in the morning to sign up for the class, and they sold out, and they have a waiting list now. And she goes, I have a feeling, I just had, oh, here they are. No, that's not them. Oh, here, right in front of me. She said, I have a feeling that's the same thing. She goes, everybody here loves to do crafts. I said, well, that's good, because I like to, I like to share what I do. So hopefully that works out. And I'll keep y'all, that's not till April, but I'll keep y'all posted. So I'm excited about that. So I'm putting mini dimensionals on the back of my little flag here for our sentiment. And I guess I better quit talking and get moving, huh? Because it's 7:21. All right, so we're going to put this right here. I probably should have done brown, but that's all right. So I'm going to put the hoot hoot right there. All right, now the inside of the card, we're going to add our, this was a scrap, so I went ahead and we're going to add this to the inside of our card, make that look prettied up as well. We could have done the envelope, but I didn't think about that, so we'll do that next time. All right, so this one we're just going to place right here. It's not quite the 4 inches, but that's okay. It's all right. It still gives it the pretty look. And then here we're going to stamp It's Your Day. So we'll do that. And I'll just use a little bit of memento. And we will stamp that right here. All right, that's a little much, isn't it? I think I inked this thing up last week, and it's got a lot of stuff on there. All right, let's make sure that's dry so I don't smear it when I go to put my glue. Actually, I'll do it the easy way. I'll hold it up this way. So, okay, so this, don't you just love these owls? I swear, they're just so daggone cute. I worked with a lady, oh my God, back in 1988. And she was an owl fanatic. Let me tell you, her house was completely covered with owls. It was, she was such a nice lady. Okay, so there, and that's crooked, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. And I got a little bit of ink, so I'll figure out something to do with that because I have ink on my fingers. All right, so there's our first card. Isn't that cute? Don't you just love that? Oh, you're a doodler, so if you like to be quiet and take your time, then Zentangle would be good for you, you know. All right, so there's our first card. Isn't he a cutie patootie? So there you go. We're good with that one. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Now the next one is, we're going to use some Parakeet Party. Make sure I don't have any ink on my hands because I didn't bring my wipes over here. And we're going to do, and this one I will fussy cut out because I haven't done that one yet. We're going to do Parakeet Party, Sahara Sand, and this is some of that animal print that we have, and that's, what is it, Like the Animals or something? Thank you for sharing. So I thought this was a cute card too. So again, we're doing the birthday one, and then this one I did do the Hoot Hoot It's Your Day, and I just realized that I do need to have that ink. So let me grab that real quick, and I think we'll do crumb cake on that one, even though I'm using Sahara Sand for the card, the layering. All right, so let's pull this one in, and see, these are such easy cards, you guys. I mean, this is something that, you know, pretty easy. Okay, so again, we're going to get to our layers. The card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. So let me bring my trimmer in and line this up at 5 1/2, and we're going to score that and give it a good fold. This is a bright color, isn't it? I don't use this color as much as I probably should, and then we're going to burnish that. All right, and then we're using a piece of Sahara Sand, and this is the 4 by 5 1/4. And then the animal print is 3 3/4 by 5. So let me go ahead and add this. And I think, and this is the back side. It's got that gold. Isn't that pretty? This one that I did over here, I did not pop up the circles. So I'm going to pop these up. I think I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. I think it's going to look a lot better. It looks a little flat. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get this on here, and then we'll add that. That's for our inside of our card. So we're going to add that to our card base. Actually, we're going to do this. And this is a 1 by 4 inch strip. So we're going to place that right on here. I always cut mine a little bit longer, so I'm going to add it because I want it to go, oh, I forgot my green. Good Lord, I thought I was missing something. Give me 1 second. Hang on. I just realized I was missing a piece of my green. Hold up. I think I got a piece right here. Hopefully this is the right size. Oh, yep. All I got to do is cut it down. All right. Give me a minute. Let me see. Let's see. What did I do? I made this one a little bit skinnier. This is 1 by 4, so I guess I'll make this one 1.5. Hang on. Pardon me. All right, so let's cut this one to 1.5. 1.25. No, that was 1. Let's do it 1.25. So let's go 1.25. So he should be, well, let's just do it this way. It'd be easier to hold on to the paper. 1.25. All right, we'll cut this down. Whew, good thing I caught that because I was thinking that thing looks naked. All right, so we've got 1.25 by 4 of our parakeet party. And then this one, I'll trim it down once I get it on there because I like to make sure that it's gonna reach side by side. So I'll glue this on here and then then I'll trim it off. So I won't put any glue right there. All right, moving right along here. Okay, hang on, let's get this there. Got that centered. And I'll make sure that it sage dries. And let me flip it over and we'll trim this piece off. Okay. All right, so now we will attach this. Now we can attach this to the front of our card. All right, and don't forget, you can get these card kits for free. And if you're just joining, go back and listen to the first of the video and you'll see how you can do that. All right, so we're going to put that I'm just going to put it right in the center, okay? And then we're going to take our card base and we're going to add this to it. You know what? Do y'all that started with me a couple years ago, remember I said I hated this glue? I like this glue now. Plus the one thing is it goes so much, lasts so much longer than the runner tape does. And I need to wipe that off. Okay, excuse me. All right, so here is our owl. Now all right, wait a minute. I'm missing a circle. Hang on. Let me make sure he's in my envelope. Oh, he's hiding. All right, so I used our retired circle punches. But if you have any of the dies that are the layering circle dies, you can do the same thing. But I don't like to get rid of my circle dies because I love them. So this is a 2.5 circle. Then I did 2.25 and then 2 inches, okay? So I'm gonna layer these and then we will cut our owl and get him placed on here. So let's add a little bit of glue. Now it's coming out. It's starting to ooze all out everywhere. All right, so we're gonna lay that there and then we're gonna put the white on and then we're gonna attach our owl because it's his birthday. And we'll put that right here on top. Whoops, I just did the wrong thing. Hang on. Dadgummit. I used a scrap. Hang on, let me grab, what did I say? I used 1 and, what did I say, 2? Oh no, it was a 2-inch. Hang on, sorry about that. Let me get a piece of paper real quick and cut that out. I was using up some scraps and wasn't paying attention when I, obviously, put the glue on the wrong side. So that doesn't work. So we're gonna have to throw him in the trash can. We'll put him right there. Okay, now we can do this one. All right, let's try that again. At least it's a clean one, so it doesn't matter now which side I put the glue on. All right, so we're gonna lay that right there. All right, now I'm going to outline this and then we're gonna cut it real quick. I did leave this one so I could show you. I don't know about y'all. Do y'all have your Stampin' blends that pop off like that because they get stuck in there? I tell you what, I don't know if it's me, but the older I get, I feel like I'm losing my strength. And then I stamped this on a square. I guess because I was just trying to save paper. Don't ask me why. So anyways, I'm just going to come around with the light pool party and I'm just going to outline him. And it won't take long to do this. But it's neat because when you cut it, then you don't have all that stark white that's showing out and kind of makes it look a little weird. So I saw this somewhere, read it, and I thought, well, let me try that. And I did it, and I thought, well, that's going to be weird to color with pool party, right? But it really does make a difference when you cut. And as long as you just keep it a thin, a thin line, because you're just going to trim around it, right? So we're just going to... I'm just going to draw along the lines of the thing, and then we'll just cut this out. Okay, so let's get that. Then we can move on to our next card. Hey Pam, how are you? Welcome everyone. I'm sorry when I'm um, demonstrating. I try to look at the comments, but it's kind of hard to do that when I'm trying to color and cut and do all that stuff. So it's not that I'm ignoring you guys. I will go back and hopefully answer or say hi. I try to do that every, at least the night of or the next day. And if I haven't done that, I will apologize for that now. All right, so I'm just going around the edges and just trying to trim him up so we can pop him on his card. And then we'll move on to the next one. I just think this is such a cute set. I tell you, some of the ones they come up for celebration, I wish they would do that for the annual catalog, because some of them are really cute, you know. And I saw the one, I got the one, and I haven't done anything with it because I couldn't figure out how to color it. It's the one that's got the two landscape, like a fence and a road or something, and it's got flowers. And I couldn't figure out how to color it because I tried coloring it and it just looked like crapola. And then I saw where somebody just did it all in one color, and I thought, why didn't I think about that? They just stamped it all in one color, and it looked awesome. So I think I'll be doing that one here in the next week or two. It's a really cute stamp. Another one. All right, so there's our owl. So we're going to lay him down on here, but we're going to pop up this on the card. So I'm going to lay him flat, but we'll pop up the actual card itself. So you can see again, I've used a scrap here. We had done a fundraiser for this gentleman, and these were the thank you cards. I was putting these little sayings that we had typed up into their thank you cards, and I had some left over. So I thought, well, I'm not throwing out the paper because we can use that, right? All right, so there's our Hootie Owl. Now I colored him with the, this one I did the skin tones. I know this is like a caramel color. The eyes are, I think I did this one in, I want to say it's Tahitian Tide, if I'm not mistaken. But isn't that cute? And then I did the lime and the blue again. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to pop these up on dimensionals. And then we're going to go ahead and get our sentiment stamped. And we will, we've got some ribbon we're going to put underneath the sentiment as well. So let's go ahead and pull this off and throw this in our trash can. Okay. All right, so we're going to lay him right about here, just like the other one. Make sure we got the card opening the right way. All right, so we're going to lay him right there. That looks much better popped up. Okay, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, this is the one that we're going to do, and I'm going to do it in crumb cake. I might have done that one in soft suede. But this one, I'm going to do the hoot, hoot, you're so cute. Oh, no, that one says hoot, hoot, it's your day. But I'm going to do hoot, hoot. Why not? We're just going to do the whole stamp right here. It says, hoot, hoot, you're so cute. Why not? So we'll do that. We'll get this out of the way. All right, so let's stamp this about here. I think I just squished it down wrong. I did. Let's flop that over. Well, I can't flop that one over. Hang on. I got me an extra scrap right here. All else fails, grab another scrap. Okay, there we go. I'll put him in my trash can. All right, so let's cut this one. And this one we're going to just cut right at an angle. Something different. So I think I'm just going to cut it, let's do straight here. I'll just do it like I did that one. Cut this one straight. And then this one I'm going to cut at an angle. So we're just going to cut it down to the corner. All right. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to use my seal because we're going to wrap some of this ribbon. And this is the metallic woven, and this is your parakeet party. So let me cut a piece of this. This is probably too much, but we'll trim it down. And I'm gonna fray. Let me see, I get it the right way. All right, so I'm just gonna do a loop. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just gonna lay it on there so it gives it a little bit of extra color. Try to pull it together. Lay it like that. And I'm gonna trim up. I'm gonna trim up the, hang on a minute. Let me find my ribbon scissors. What did I, oh, they're over here. Hold on. I'm going to trim these down a little, and then I'm going to try to fray the ends. So I'm going to trim, because I don't want them hanging over the card. Let's do it about like that. And then this kind of, you pull them, they'll come apart. So I'm just going to try to fray the edges a little bit. I just kind of think it looks fun. Not so, you know, perfect. Isn't that cute? All right, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. We're doing the dimensionals tonight, so they're getting a workout. All right, so we've got that, and we'll pull the backings off of that as well. And we're going to put the hoot hoot, you're so cute. We're going to put that right about there. We'll do that a little bit at an angle. And then we're going to take our piece of scrap, and we're going to attach that to our inside white. And let me get my glue here. I like to put little pieces like this on the inside. I just think it's kind of dresses up the inside just a little bit. Let me pull some of that glue over here. All right. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to pop that on here. And again, this is from the, I think it's the animal. I like the animal. I can't remember the name of it. I should have wrote it down. I'm bad about that. It's the animal. It's the animal paper. All right, so we have that, and then we're just going to add that to the inside of our card. And then you can write whatever sentiment you want, or you can stamp something, whichever you prefer. I usually try to wait until I get ready to send the card, and then I can figure out what I want to put on the inside. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so there is our second card. Isn't that cute? Excuse me. A draft print. Yeah, it does. It has the draft. I think it says like an animal or something. But isn't that cute? Okay, now we're moving on to the next one. Let me take a sip of water. And I'm going to show you all something that you will not, let me move my stuff out of the way. Okay, now let me find my card. All right, this is what we're going to make. Isn't this cute? I copied this from somebody off of Pinterest. I cased it. This is Night of Navy. Now, this right here, I tried to mimic the stars, but do they look like stars to you guys? Guess what they are? They're snowflakes. They are snowflakes from the Peaceful Deer. But I thought, you know what? They kind of look like stars. And when I put the silver embossing on it, no one's going to know the difference, right? So that's what those are. So don't forget that you have other stamps that you probably can pull things from that you can use, right? So this is what we're going to be doing. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to do reverse stamping. We're going to reverse one of the images. Okay, so we've got, let me move this out of the way. And I've got everything already cut except for we got to do the reverse for the owl. This is my note so I can cut him out too. All right, so 5.5 by 8.5 Night of Navy. I'm just going to fold this and burnish it rather than pull out the machine. And, excuse me, and then what we're going to do is we are going to bring in our embossing powder, because we're going to go ahead and emboss this right now. So let me get that real quick. Bear with me 1 second. I got my little birds. I got everybody right here. I don't think I need my tray, but you know, we sell this now, and it comes with a brush, the holder, which I use these chopsticks that I found that are one piece, and you squeeze them. I guess they're for little kids. That's what I've been using. And then it comes with the embossing buddy that we no longer sell. So anyways, all right, so we're going to first of all, we need to put a little bit of embossed powder. And if it gets white, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll wipe it off, because this is where we're going to emboss, right down in this area, right? So we don't want the stuff to stick to anything. This is what keeps it from sticking, okay? Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp, and I'm using silver embossing powder, and I'm going to pull in my Versamark. Good thing it's right here in front of me. And my snowflakes, which are really going to be pretending they're stars, okay? So I'm going to stamp these just in the corners, and I'm just going to kind of randomly stamp them along. Just try to make it look. And let's see, do I want it to go? I think that's probably good. And then I'm going to come down here and do the same thing here, and we'll do some right about here. Okay, so we've got that. So let's move that out of the way here. All right, now we're going to bring in, and usually I have a little scoopy doopy thing, which I'm going to do. Usually I just use a piece of cardstock, but we're gonna bring it over here, and I've got my machine handy. So I am just going to, actually, let me just see if I can do it this way. All right, I'm just going to pour some on here, and then we'll shake it around. Let me get it down into the bottom. There we go. And I'll just work it around this way. We'll tap that off, and then I'll I'll do it again, and then that way, then I'll come back with a brush, and I'll brush off everything that might be there that doesn't need to be there. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that. Kind of knock it off with your fingers, because you don't want to have too much. And you just want to take your brush and just kind of maybe make marks of where there might be something there. You're not sure. So I think that's good. All right. Now let's get the heat embosser going. Let me just close this up because we don't want silver going every which way. So let's just move this out of the way. And I'm going to bring this in. It might be a little bit noisy. Let me get it started, and then we'll heat it up, and then we'll move on. All right. And then just hold it on here, and I know that most of you have probably already done this. And hold it, and you're going to see this start to melt. As soon as it gets hot enough, I hold it in one spot. Sometimes you got to turn it a little bit at an angle. And once you get the right angle, see how it starts to melt? There you go. See how it's melting? So now you know you got the right angle, so you just move it around. And you don't want to keep it on there too long, but just enough to get everything melted so it shows, right? So that's good. And then we're going to come back with this one. I got one right there. Hang on, let me do that one. Okay. And then we'll do these real quick. Just takes a minute to get it going. Once it starts, then it just automatically starts to melt, and it doesn't take that long to do. Isn't that incredible how you can do just with embossing? Now, see, I should have, but I'm not going to be too concerned about it. I should have probably taken my brush and wiped this off right there, but I think that might be covered up, so I'm not going to worry about it, okay? All right, so there's our base card. Isn't that cute? So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and attach. But the next thing I want to do, let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how we're going to do our other picture of our other owl. Let me find my bone folder here. I need to just bring this down just a little bit. Okay, now this is brushed, I think it's brushed silver, and this is, I think it's 4 inches, 4 3/8 by 2 5/8. Okay, so 4 3/8 by 2 5/8. And then this is 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. Okay, so we're going to add this to the base of this here. Now, another tip, and I'm sure y'all do this, if you have something that you are going to use, maybe a little piece coming up for a project or something, cut it out of the center, because once you cover it up, no one's going to know there's a hole there, right? So we tend to sometimes forget that, and we waste paper. Now this paper is from the Enjoy the Journey, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the one, this paper here. All right, so we're going to lay this on here. Excuse me. All right, and then we're going to, these are 3, I think they're 1 3/4 circles, and this is vellum. This is the vellum cardstock. Hey, Donna, how are you? Isn't that cute, though? It kind of does look like stars. So who's going to know the difference, right? All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to add this now to, no, we're not going to add it yet because I need to put the, let's put our ribbon on it. So we're going to use the blue, which is our Starry Sky, which I think kind of sort of goes with it. It says Starry Sky, so I thought, well, what the hell, we're going to use it. All right, so let's just wrap it a couple of times, and we'll tie it. Excuse me, I don't know, did I tie it in a bow? Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Okay, so let's cut this. Hang on, I got to cough again. Pardon me. Sorry. And I'm going to tie it over here because I want to move that owl. So I'm going to flip this upside down because I'm right-handed, so it'd probably be easier for me to tie the bow this way. So, but I'm going to flip this back around because this is going to be the bottom. So we'll just tie a bow. And then we're going to do our reverse stamping, reverse image. So you're getting all sorts of little tidbits from me tonight. Hang on. See, I got my nails done, and now I told her to cut up. There we go. Hang on. Oh, shoot, Ski. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I always tell them to cut them short, and they look at me like I'm crazy because I don't like them long, but for this reason right here, because I can't seem to grab, but hang on, we'll get it through there. It's tiny enough. There it is. I can grab it. Nope, it's the wrong one. Hold on. Look, every time I do this, you know, I do it by myself. I might have to do it twice, but for whatever reason, when I'm running my mouth and talking, it doesn't seem it wants to cooperate. I'm sure it's operator error, right? All right, let's try this one more time. Actually, I think I'm going to use my tweezers if I can get, here we go. Got it. If I just get it without pulling the tail through. There we go. Okay, let me tighten it up and then I can get it going the right way. There we go. All right, yay, clap your hands. Woohoo, she got her bow done. Okay, pull that down just a little bit. All right, okay, so we're gonna move this over a little bit this way. A little bit more because I've got room that I can get it off to the edge a little bit. And I sometimes will bend the card just enough to get it to move. All right, so let's trim this up. We're going to make these a little shorter. Okay, whoopsie, I hit my water. All right, now we can go ahead and add this. So let's go ahead and do that. Isn't that cute? I just thought this is such a cute card. All right, let's go ahead and get this attached, and then we'll go ahead and do our reverse stamping, and then we'll cut out our, we'll fussy cut our owls. And you could pop this up on dimensionals if you wanted, but I'm going to flat put it down because the owls I'm going to pop up. So I'm just going to lay this right here. So any of those boo-boos that I did under here, you're not going to see them anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? So let me wipe my glue off right here. All right, so we'll let that sit. So far, so good. And then these are going to be what we're going to set our owls on. Okay, so we have one. Now these are what the birds look like. We have this one is flying, right? Hang on. Pardon me. This one's flying with his eyes looking that way. Where's my other bird? Hang on, I gotta find my other owl. Hold up, lost my owl. Where'd he go? Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have two with their eyes going that way, right? But then we're gonna do reverse. So we're gonna reverse it. So we're gonna have one that's looking to the right. These two are to the left, and now we're gonna make one that's gonna go to the right. And then we'll put all this together. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in your silicone mat. This is ideal for what we're gonna do. All right, so here's the hootie owl. And what you're gonna do, and if you have a Stamparatus, you can do the same thing with your Stamparatus. Just put your mat underneath. So we're gonna ink this up, okay? All right, so I've got a lot of ink on him. Hopefully it doesn't smear. If it does, we're gonna do it again. All right, so I'm gonna stamp this right here on my mat, okay? All right, so you see that image, correct? Now what we're going to do is we're gonna take a piece of white. I had a scrap somewhere, hold on. Oh, here it is. And then we're gonna cut him out. I'm gonna lay my paper on here, okay? I'm just gonna lay it because we're gonna cut it out anyways. So I'm gonna lay my owl, lay it down flat, don't move it, and I'm just gonna press. I don't wanna rub because I think I might have a little bit too much ink. So I'm just gonna press on it, and then the magic happens. So let's just give it a minute, make sure we've got the ink in there, and make sure we got lots of ink so we can see our hootie owl. All right, so we're gonna lift it up, and look at that. Isn't that cool? So look at this guy's looking now to the right and this guy's to the left. Isn't that cool? Oh, I know. I need to use my tweezers to pull the bow too. So it looks like it might still be a little damp. So I'm just going to wave this around, let it dry. Because we don't want to smear it since I at least got that part done, right? Okay. So let that dry, and then I'll color him. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. And I just stuck my finger in the ink, so bear with me 1 second. Excuse me. I'll tell you, last night, same thing happened while we were watching that show, or that trio. Okay, so see how I've outlined him? And then I'm gonna cut him out while that one's drying, and then we probably won't be but another 10 or 15 minutes of that. Yeah, we'll be good. All right, I have to cough again, so I'm gonna cover up my microphone one more time in a minute. So I'm just gonna fussy cut. That's why I cut all of this stuff in advance, because I really didn't want to y'all have to sit there and watch me fussy cut. And hang on. Pardon me. Hopefully that's covering it. So anyways, so we're just gonna go through here and do some fussy cutting. But don't you love these owls? If you don't have this one, doesn't this make you want to go out? And now you got to place an order. Got to spend $50 and get this little booger for free. He's a cutie patootie. Gotta love him. I just love all sorts of animals. Anything that has an animal in it, I love it. You know, I love the goats. I love the sheep. I haven't bought that stamp set yet. But I think I'm going to get the bunnies for Easter, I think it is. I thought those were cute. I saw some cute cards that were designed with those guys. So that might be my next order. I got to place an order here, so that might be my next order. And then next week, what are we doing next week? I can't think of what. I've already got the stamp. I can't decide. I think I've got two that I'm trying to decide on. All right, so there's that guy, right? Now these I colored in light and dark smoky slate. So we're going to go ahead, and this washes off, so just keep that in mind. Just run it underneath the sink, and it will wash off. I wouldn't let it sit too long, okay? All right, so let me bring in my blends, and let's go ahead and get these stamping. And I need my envelope. I got envelopes all over the place. Hang on. And this goes on the inside. We got to put that there. All right, so let's go ahead and get our colors going. Now I'm going to do the dark for the top of his head and for the outside of his body. Oops, I don't want that one. I want the other one. I want the short tip. So this part of his head is going to be the dark, and then this part will be dark, his body. This will be the light smoky slate, and his face will be smoky slate, okay? So I'm just going to go in here and... yeah, this is the dark. So I'm just going to go in and color. Now, of course, he's not quite as, you know, his image isn't quite as, what do I want to say? As, what am I thinking? This is as dark as this. So I think if you did it with the Stamparatus, you could push down and get a lot more pressure on it, and that might help as well. So maybe we'll do that. We'll do something. We'll do another reverse image or something at some point, and then we'll use the Stamparatus. I've used it, but I keep forgetting. I guess I get in the habit of using, which really makes sense, because you know you don't really need to have a bunch of blocks if you use the Stamparatus, right? Because that you just use it for everything. But I don't think like that, so I just pull out my blocks because it's easier. But I guess if I had it sitting on my desk, it would make sense, right? But that would probably work really well, because we could put more pressure and make sure we got a really good crisp, that's what I was thinking of, crisp image. Okay, so we've got his dark body. So now we're going to come in with the light smoky slate. And again, I'm using the ballpoint tip, or whatever you want to call it, the little nubby one. So we're going to do light here. The other owls I did were brown, so I thought, well, let's do one that's kind of grayish looking, right? And we'll come around and just outline him. I tend to outline everything, and then I'll come back and color it, because I don't want to go out of the lines, and then I've got to deal with, you know, I'm gonna color the inside of his ear. All right, and then I have to go in And this one, yeah, one of them, oh, I know the other one I did a different color of the eyes on the original. I just realized that on one of the cards I did the color of his eyes a little different than the blue. I think the other one I did was yellow, which he probably should have yellow eyes, but we're going to go with the blue because that's what I got in my hands. All right, not too much longer. Let me just finish getting him colored here, and we'll do his belly. Excuse me. I apologize for sniffling in y'all's. Don't need to hear that, that's for sure. Okay. And let's get a little bit there, right there, colored. Okay. Whoops. I didn't want to do that. Where's my color lifter? Hang on. Let's get that guy out of here. Color lifter, where are you? See if we can get that out of the eyeball. All right. All right, now we're going to, hang on. Pardon me, I am so sorry. All right, we're going to color his beak with our light Calypso Coral. And we're going to do his little feet that way too. I used pumpkin the last time in a different card that I did. All right, and then we're going to color his eyes, which I guess that's going to be covered up anyways. We're going to do the pool party. So let's bring in the small tip again. Sorry. I don't know what it is about these things, but all right, so we're just going to color this part of the eye, and there's a little white thing right there, so we're going to leave that alone. We'll get that colored. I'll just make them look a little bit darker. Now my throat's really acting weird. Okay, so we've got him. Now we need to fussy cut him. Oh, we got to color him real quick. Did you notice how the pool party how it does help so you don't see such a stark white? Bear with me. I really want to apologize for my coughing and everything. So let me just go through here and do a quick outline so then we can get him fussy cut and then get the rest of the card finished. And we'll come through there. All right. Okay. All right, now we can cut him out. And we're on the home stretch here. So let's start cutting. Are you all, any of you all have the paper pumpkin? Did you see where this, whatever this February kit has got coordinating dies? The first time Stampin' Up! Has ever done that. I was shocked when I saw that. I said, oh boy, I have to get those for my pumpkin so we can cut out the stuff. Not that you can't, you know, I'm going to cut that off because it's in my way. Fussy cut, but sometimes it's nicer to have the dies, right? So I just want to trim that and get that piece out of there before I do something stupid and cut my owl. Okay. All right. But I thought that was pretty nifty. So we'll see. And you know what's funny is I think I think those things are created like, and I could be wrong, but I want to say they're at least probably a year in advance. And I could be wrong. I probably shouldn't even say that, but I would think because the annual catalog, you know, they're working on, you know, like they're probably working on next year, not next year, but the following year's annual catalog, right? So they already know what is going to be. Obviously, this catalog is coming out in April. So, no, May, I'm sorry. So that one's already done. And you know the holiday one is probably completed. And if not, it's almost completed. Because they got to get all the stuff made for it, right? The dies and everything else. So that takes time. So they're probably working 2 years in advance, you know? So. But I remember when Paper Pumpkin first came out. Oh, my God. I still have one of the original ones. It was pitiful. And I said, somebody ain't going to pay $20 for this thing, or 15 at the time. I don't remember what it was. It was, it wasn't pretty. We'll just say that, put it that way. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our owls. We're going to line them up and put dimensionals on the back of them, because we're going to pop them up on these vellum sheets, or vellum circles, I should say. And then we'll get our card put together. And then we'll be done. Isn't this fun? Are y'all enjoying this? Oh, and I think I've got the date. I'll let you know when we're doing our next creation anticipation. I've got my husband's teaching. Oh, it's the 11th. Is that a Saturday? I think it's Saturday, February 11th, because his birthday's the 12th, which I think is a Sunday. So I think that Saturday, the 11th, is going to be the day we do our sketch thing at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's a Saturday. I think it's February 11th, if y'all want to confirm that. But I'll put it out there as a reminder. Okay, so, excuse me. All right, here we go. So we're gonna, whoops, let's do this first. Let's get our owls on our vellum. Are y'all still hanging in there with me? I'm sorry I can't, you know, I'm not able to talk with you guys. I mean, I'm too busy over here trying to make sure I'm not messing up anything. And hang on one second. Let me just trim this off, this little circle here. Okay. All right, so we're going to attach the birds to the piece of the vellum circle, okay? And then we will line them up, however order, whatever you want to do. And since we did the one that's reversed, we're going to put that one in the middle, because we want him looking the opposite way of the other two. All right. Hang on. So let's put this one on here. Okay, so this one's going to be in the middle. And this one, these two are going to be like that, right? Okay, so then we're going to take our seal, and we are going to line these up. Pardon me. And we're just going to place them on here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to probably move him over a little bit and put this one here in the center. We'll move him that way, and then we'll pop him up like that. What do you think? Get him kind of like that. He'll be on top of the ribbon, which might be a little bit more, but that's okay. It'll work. All right, so we're just going to take our seal and place some of that on here. I'm going to tell you what, all of a sudden, pardon me, the first couple of times I used the seal, I hated it because it didn't work. Now it's working like a charm. I hope I don't jinx myself. All right, so we're going to put this little guy. You know, I could have, changed this and made it a different way, but we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to put this guy right about here. He's on top of the ribbon. And then this one, see, now I opened my mouth. Let's see, we'll get some adhesive. There we go. And we're going to put that one. We're going to make him go, let's do a little bit like that. Put him right about here. Or do we want to make him a little closer? Let's do that. Hang on. Now I'm stuck to the paper. Do a little bit like that. Let's offset him just a little bit. And then this guy, yeah. Then this one, see, look at that. This thing is like going through like butter. And then we're going to put him up here where he's kind of flying around. Isn't that cute? Do you not just love that? Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do, did I put anything on the inside, is I decorated the envelope. So all I did was take that stamp, and I just stamped the outside. One thing to think about is put a piece of paper, or you can, you know, like that, or if you do it like this, you can. It's easier. So if you go off the page, you'll have a scrap piece of paper. But I'll do that later with the stamp. But this is the one. Isn't that cute? Do you not just love that? And then of course we'll put our piece of white on the inside, and I probably will stamp some of the little stars right there. I won't highlight them. I'll just stamp them to make it look like stars. Okay, so let's recap what we've done this evening. I'll put this one here with the envelope. We'll pretend that we did the envelope. And then we have the Hootie Owl and the Parakeet Party. And then we have the Hootie Owls with the Balmy Blue. Aren't those cute? Don't you just love those guys? Oh, I know, don't you just love that one? There's so many ways that, when you think about that, and I think that paper, so we look to our paper to get inspiration, and it's probably right there in front of us, and most of us don't pay attention to it, right? Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your patience and listening to me sniffling. I had a great time. Better and more patient and able to make mine look so good. Who just wrote that one? You can, you know what? You just have to do it. And just remember that when you make your card, the person that's receiving it has no idea what it's supposed to look like. So if it doesn't match yours exactly, or if you did something a little bit different, it's okay. Because they have no idea. They're just going to be happy you sent them a daggone card, right? That's the way I look at it. And that's how I've always told everybody in my classes. So you can't freak out. It's supposed to be fun and relaxing, sort of. But anyways, thank you everyone for spending Tuesday evening with me. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great week. If you are interested in purchasing the card kits, getting the card kits for free, you have until Tuesday of next week at 5 p.m. to place an order. And then I'll know that order would be for the cards for this week. All right, thank you again, everyone. If you have any questions or need any help with anything, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. And I will see you next Tuesday. All right, have a great evening.